But one player I'm really looking at, and I'm completely frustrated off, Owen Tippett. What has he done this series? He's easily on the best line the Flyers have to offer when Forrester was on there with Forrester, Tippett, and Zegras. That, towards the end of the regular season, looked like one of the best offensive lines the Flyers could throw out there. They moved Forrester out of the line because he's struggling. Doesn't seem like it made any difference for Tippett last night. Obviously, Barkey was trying to get down there. Zegras, it's tough because Zegras has been really a revelation to this team this year, and he's not played the best, but he's at least had moments that stepped up. But Owen Tippett has been a complete no-show. From the offensive side, barely shooting the puck, and then literally letting up a goal in the game 5 yesterday because of his lazy trying to get out of the zone, and it leads to a goal by the Penguins. What has he done this series? And I harp it again. He's a very, very, very talented player, but he is so inconsistent to the sense where he either is the best player on the ice or he's like a ghost out there and you don't even know he's skating out there playing. His inconsistencies are too bad to where it's too good or it's like extremely well or it's extremely bad. And you don't know which one you're going to get on a consistent basis. That's why I don't think he might be a sustainable player on this team and why they really should consider trading him this offseason. I know people have been on the Tippett, not Tippett train. As of right now, I think Tippett is showing why he can't be on this team and part of this future core because of his inconsistencies. It's not even inconsistencies in this series. It's a no-show. A lack of offense, a lack of showing up and giving leadership to this team has been a no-show there from Owen Tippett, and it completely frustrates me because he's easily one of the best players on this team when he wants to be. And if he doesn't show up again in Game 6 and they lose, then I think he easily has to be a guy that you have to try to see what you can get for him in this offseason because he's the type of guy, if you want him to be part of the future core, he needs to find a more consistent base. He could be a 30 to 40 goal scorer, but his inconsistencies lead him to only score 28 like he did this year. Like a perfect example game. The way he played against the Detroit Red Wings to end the regular season on that Saturday night game and have a hat trick, he looked insane out there. But then you go into this series, or you go into a week after that, he's a complete no-show. I'm not trying to make this crazy comparison, but when he's out there on his game, he almost looks like Connor McDavid, the way his speed looks and the way he's able to dangle the puck and score. And then you go to the next night, and he looks like a guy that shouldn't even be playing NHL hockey. It's too inconsistent, and for a guy that gives you as much talent as Owen Tippett does, you can't have that inconsistency just on the top of your team and a guy that is supposed to be like almost the face of your team. Not the face of your team, but a guy that represents Flyers. Like when you think of the Flyers and the core players, he's part of that list, but his inconsistencies are what's going to lead him to not be on this team, I think, much longer. But I think we'll see how interesting the things go. I want to bring up this point about Vladar. I was of the mind that I think they should have started Sam Earson in Game 4 because it was a game that you could have lost, and Vladar was so banged up in Game 3 to give him that rest. Have the you say you lose Game 4, you have a much healthier Vladar going into Game 5, and depending on how Game 4 goes, even say the Flyers lost 3-2, and say the Flyers lost like they did last night, but in Game 4, and then you go into Game 5. The Flyers at least have something, and they have a much healthier Vladar going into Game 5. But now you're in a scenario where Vladar, you had no other choice. Vladar has to play tomorrow because if you throw Earson out there, although Earson has been better as of late, you know how bad Sam Earson can be. And the way the Penguins are right now, they're going to attack him in every which way if he were to play. And another thing with the Penguins, it's like we talk about the unlucky bounce and stuff like that decided. I thought for a sliver of a moment last night when Sanheim scored that goal, it's like they have a chance here. Sanheim scored that goal, sneaked it past Solvis, the Penguins goaltender, and was tied 2-2. 3 minutes later, the Flyers can't get it. That's another thing. Not in Game 4, but in Game 5, they could not get it out of the freaking zone last night. It was insane. Even when they were on the power play, they could not get it out of the zone. And it was completely frustrating to the sense where I'm screaming at the TV. And then you have Dan Vladar saving pucks every which way, and the Flyers just do not care whatsoever to try to get it out of the zone. That's where I get frustrated at, because you talk about Vladar was easily the team's MVP. He's the reason we are here right now, but it doesn't seem like some of the players have that respect for their goaltender who's literally kept them in that series. Obviously, the Flyers have played well in games 1, 2, and 3, but you don't also play well without a good goaltender, and Dan Vladar has been that good goaltender. So